in my defence, what happened is I could not hear myself think. You looked around.
Member will resume his seat. We're finished with that matter. The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, thank you very much. Mr Speaker, I rise to speak to the Taxation, Neutralising, Base Erosion and Profit Shifting Bill. Mr Speaker, this is the first reading of an excellent government bill, I must say, Mr Speaker. In fact, an excellent bill of the previous government, Mr Speaker. So therefore I am very excited to have the opportunity to speak to it, and also say that I'm assuming that we'll be referring it to the Finance and Expenditure Select Committee once the bill has been discussed in this first reading, Mr Speaker. This is an excellent bill and is one of a number of excellent bills that this Parliament has been debating in recent weeks, Mr Speaker. So far, this Parliament has debated 13 pieces of national government legislation, with just 2 government bills from the Labor Party, which were, of course, members' bills. So I'd like to thank the Labor government and the Labor-led government for giving us the opportunity to lead on this bill on this particular day, Mr Speaker, because it is only fair, when the work has been done by the previous government, that the previous government gets the opportunity to introduce what is a very important bill to this House. Mr Speaker, this bill is indeed announced in August of this year by the then government as part of its final decisions on proposals to address base erosion and profit shifting, Mr Speaker. Madam Speaker, our broad-based low-rate tax system continues to perform very well for New Zealand. It is important it keeps evolving, and the previous government was very focused on that evolution and coming up with the proposals that we see in this House here today, Mr Speaker, the exact proposals, in fact, of the previous government. So this bill will target multinational companies that seek to avoid legitimate taxation by the realm of New Zealand, Madam Speaker, and they are significant strengthenings of our tax rules and our ability to ensure that multinationals are taxed fairly and on the basis of their actual level of activity in this country, Madam Speaker. These decisions come into 4 important areas, and I'm pleased to have the opportunity to share those with the House. Firstly, stopping foreign parent companies charging their New Zealand subsidiaries high interest rates to reduce their taxable profits in New Zealand. Stopping multinationals using artificial arrangements to avoid having a taxable presence in New Zealand. Ensuring multinational companies are taxed in accordance with the economic substance of their activities in New Zealand. Counter strategies that the multinationals have used in the past to exploit gaps and mismatches in different companies' domestic tax rules to avoid paying tax anywhere in the world. And finally, Madam Speaker, making it easier for Inland Revenue to investigate uncooperative multinational companies. Madam Speaker, this bill has been developed thoroughly over a period of time by the previous government. It was put together very carefully and supported by Inland Revenue officials. But it has to be said, Madam Speaker, it didn't meet with universal acclaim immediately. In fact, I have a number of people who were concerned about this bill when the announcements were made in terms of what would be in it. For example, this particular individual said, "This is unambitious at the very least, and a double standard that will cost Kiwi taxpayers." This particular person was Michael Wood of the Labor Party and now of the Labor government, Mr Speaker. Madam Speaker, I go on actually. The Labor Party had decided. Is there any ministers in the House?
Sit down. Keep going.
Madam Speaker, the Labor Party had decided they weren't going to support this in opposition. They said that they wanted a diverted profits tax, which taxes any profits a multinational has avoided reporting. This was to be called a Google tax, like the one introduced in Britain and Australia. But it's not in this bill, Madam Speaker. They haven't put it in the bill after railing that this was something that they were going to do, Madam Speaker. And then they accused the then government of sluggish vein of government inaction, still selling New Zealand taxpayers and companies short by $100 million a year when this bill was announced by the previous government. So, Madam Speaker, this bill we have is an excellent bill, which was done by the previous government, which the current government opposed, and then introduced and allowed the opposition to lead off on debating the bill, Madam Speaker. So if you're at home, I imagine you'll be a bit concerned by all of that, Madam Speaker, but it is a very good bill, and I am pleased to say that National will support it and commends it to the House.
I call Michael Wood.